Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. I got given this PDF of Seeing Red number 2 earlier today by the publisher. So there's your full disclosure. I got this for free. It was like, hey, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. And so, me being me, I'm like, sure, let's take a look at it. Now, for starters, let's zoom out so you can see the whole cover at once. I like the cover. It's a pretty standard movie poster kind of look. You've got a couple characters kind of like in the foreground, and they're main characters. They're important to the story. You got another character looming in the background, so he must also be pretty important. And then you got like a little something spicy, a little some kind of action here. So you got these like cool little devil tongue dog things, and it's all pretty great. We'll scroll down here so you can look at the creative team for a second. So I'm just going to say up front things I like about the book. There's great action in it. It's a little bit gory, and I had a lot of fun reading it. The pacing is pretty fast, and I think that's primarily due to our main character, who you can see being rescued right here. We're going to zoom in just a little bit here, because I like this. This is a great juxtaposition. So here's like our opening page of the book. Dude with the goatee rescuing our main character when she's, like 12 or 13 or whatever. Kind of hard to tell from this angle and the art because you can't see her whole height and all that. But, she's a kid. Rescues her, and he says, "I would never hurt you, little one." Fast forward to today, or now. And here we go. This is, I'm zoomed in one click too far, I guess. There we go. And so here in the now, they're fighting each other. Now, you may remember the previous book. She like flipped out and killed a bunch of guys who were bad guys or whatever. And so her secret order that she was trained in, the culling or whatever they are, they're like, "You must now die." And then he was like, "No, you can't kill her. Kill me instead. It's my fault." And then they're like, "You know what? One of you has to die. Trial by combat." So they have a fight. And for a little two-pager, it's pretty satisfying. We get a great look at his face here in this little inset panel. Set the scene here. She's posing. She's getting ready to like strike. She lunges in. Boom. Great stuff. I like how this knife comes out of the panel. A plus work right there. The look of betrayal right here. Like, I think she actually got stabbed in this panel, and then we're just like zooming out here when the full realization of pain sets in as opposed to the shock of just being stabbed. Anyway, whatever. I like it. It's pretty good. It's a good little bit. I can never stress enough how much this hurts me. I'm sorry, Ella. I hope that you find peace. He dumps her in the water. Now, of course, being somebody who has observed many stories, my suspicion would be, he knows he didn't kill her with this stab because this is not necessarily a fatal wound. So there's a pretty good chance she's going to survive. And he's just hoping the powers that be don't go dredge the river to find her body or whatever. Yeah, it's pages 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would show you the next page where she's waking up and all that. But, this is a no sleep book. So there's these things here, these orbs, are on display. So we're going to actually jump to page 11. Here we go. Where she's wearing a top. And she's hanging out with this little pig dude here, who's apparently a half demon. And his name is Shorttail or something. And my immediate thought about that was like inspiration from the pig demon in Journey into the West. Like, I don't know. That's just what it made me think of. Maybe not. So, at this point in the story, gosh, what all has happened here? She's woken up in his place. He's like trying to nurse her back to health. There's those dog demon things that were on the cover. They show up. There's a little bit of action, and it's really kind of like character development stuff going on with her here. And this book, I don't know if I said this earlier, but there's really no time to rest in this book. Even when she's convalescing, her driven personality keeps moving the book forward at a steady pace. I really like that. Let's see. I got it set here to look to page 12. Yeah, they're setting out on their little journey. So I like this. Like, this is a great character revelation. Like, you should have left me for dead. My axe, my blade, none of those were here. So, where are you going? You're not healed. I don't care. I need to get back on my feet. So she starts walking. Do you think you should recover? Do you even know where you're going? I guess you're not a talker. Leave me alone. Stay in your little cave. Why are you following me? What do you want? You owe me a life debt. And she's like, oh, you want to, have some little bleep slave, right? I don't even know if you can say that word on either of those words on YouTube anymore. Hopefully you can. Hopefully you can, and I'm not about to get canceled. Not happening, half demon. No, nothing like that. I want to be a warrior like you. No chance of you being like me, but you can come, half demon. And I like this panel right here. Do you really want to do this? She seems crazy. Because this panel tells a lot about this guy. Like, you're not really sure up until this point, like, exactly what's going on with him. But taking advantage of the comic book, you can see people's thoughts thing that some comic book writers do. Much more common back in the day than today. It lets us know exactly what's going on through this guy's head. Like, okay, maybe not exactly, but like it's a pretty good indication that this dude's probably not like some super evil guy, despite being a half demon. Like, he's got at least he's like looking for a friend, looking for adventure. Like, that's how it comes across to me, and I like that. I also really like this kind of like determined look on her face right here. This is like one of the best looks she has in the whole book, I think, because it's just like she's set. She's going to go do it. It doesn't matter what it is. She's going to go do it. And I did want to scroll down here to the top panel of this page when they get to the town. Not necessarily because it's like the panel's like awesome, or I really wanted to show this panel off or something. But I only noticed like typos in one place in the book, and it was this panel. Somebody over here is saying, why is that? Probably should be, what is that? It looks grotesque. And maybe that's a real word. I don't know, but I think the word you're looking for is grotesque. Or just gross. Or maybe somebody has combined the two and created like an awesome portmanteau. That's entirely possible. So I see those two bubbles, and those are like the only typos I saw in the book, which that's not that bad. Like, it could also be that these people are just illiterate, they don't know how to speak English, and this is actually what they're saying because they think it's real words. Entirely possible. I can't show you the other thing I want to critique in the book, which is her chest. Because there's a couple places, that was on page 19, I think, is what I got written down here. And there's a few other places. I think her chest size changes a time or two in the book. Like, there's some panels where it has some different proportionality. Also, a lot of the time, it looks like she's got implants. Look, I maybe I've been spoiled because looking at Luigi Teruel's art for Rags and stuff. But there's a couple places she's like laying down and they're not moving right. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know what I'm saying, you probably shouldn't be watching this video anyway, if you know what I'm saying. And those are really the only complaints coming into this that I have. Otherwise, it was a pretty enjoyable book, and I'm not going to sit down here and go over it with a fine-tooth comb to find a bunch of stuff to nitpick and all that. I will say one more thing. I'm pretty sure I liked the first Seeing Red. I went back and I reread it after I read this one to try to get the context for what was going on. And in that rereading, I realized issue 2 is a way, way better book than issue 1 is. And it might have been interesting to structure the story differently instead of showing her taking out those dudes in issue 1 and all that stuff. If we had started with issue 2 and then inserted the contents of issue 1 as flashbacks into subsequent material. I don't know. I guess I don't know the full way the story is being structured for issues 3, 4, and 5, but that might have been an interesting approach because this issue is really strong. This issue feels like a great start to a story, if that makes sense. And I think it does. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great one. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.